All right, so today we're going to talk about secrets to high performing TikTok ads. Now, there is a lot that goes into this, and I have for a while been very bullish. I love TikTok ads. I think the creativity behind them, when you talk with the TikTok team, they'll always mention, that TikTok ads allow brands to kind of put their hair down a little bit. It doesn't have to be a perfect ad with, everything ideal. It can be someone that's chilling in their bedroom talking, to the camera or showing you around their house. It doesn't have to be a perfect set. There's an element of kind of what I feel like is humanity of just, hey, it's real. And I think some of the best TikTok ads don't even look like TikTok ads. They're just a person talking about how a product is fun or interesting or unique or valuable to them. But I want to tell you a couple stories and walk through some tips here in regards to what I have seen as been some of the secrets behind high performing TikTok ads. The first one, and this one blew me away because I never saw it coming, and I was surprised at how well it did. We worked with an educational client that was a for-profit college, and they were running TikTok ads, and we had, we were uploading 2 to 4 videos every week of new videos, new content, as we were talking about ideas and the programs that they wanted to promote and what they wanted to say to students. And we were uploading it. And we kind of had a consistent result in regards to cost per leads or what would be able to come through. One week, one of the account managers who's working on the account said, in a call with the client, they mentioned a statement about that they had a certain percentage of people that they could let in that didn't have a high school diploma, right? And so the idea came up, no diploma, no problem, that we can still talk with you. And there was only a small percentage that they could enroll based on this fact, but they still had that kind of window. And so hearing that, the account manager went back, we talked to creative team, we said, let's take a video and just throw those headlines right on top of the video. We'll change the headline and whatever's there, the hook at the beginning, to something that said, no diploma, no problem. And in one day, the cost per lead fell by 50%. It was mind blowing to me, the amount of people that resonated with, meaning, not everyone doesn't have a high school degree. Some people do, some people don't. But the people that didn't, they saw that and they instantly watched it, looked at it, and said, I want to go see this. All from the hook of the video, the statement that was placed on the screen. It was the exact same video we had been running before for a couple of weeks. And all that was changed was the first words that a person sees at the beginning of the video. And man, it blew me away. In regards to exact same video, everything was the same, just different words at the beginning. Improved the results by double, meaning we were getting twice as many leads for the same amount of money. So the first thing I would say is always, definitely that hook, that thing that you put at the very beginning of your video is extremely important. Take time to really look at that, test different versions. We see negatives work very well a lot of times in regards to TikTok ads. So if you were to be like 3 ways to have minty fresh breath, people are like, oh, okay, whatever. But if you were like, never do this when brushing your teeth, the worst thing you can do to your teeth, is something that's it's a big negative. And I think a lot of people are fearful of negatives. They're afraid they might be doing that one thing. And so they'll stop and watch and just be like, oh, I just learned something new. But I think there is that fear aspect that works very well, or the negative aspect in regards to social media. A good friend of mine that was on Shark Tank, he'll talk all about the time he was at a coffee shop and, where they do the carpool karaoke, where James Corden would sing with musical artists in the car, and it pulled up right in front of the coffee shop and stopped while they were resetting for filming, but it was on a trailer. So there was the car that they were in was on a trailer, so they weren't really driving, and a truck was riding, and he quickly took a video of it and was like, man, I feel like I've been lied to this whole time. And it blew up and got like tens of millions of views, and everyone was talking about it. And eventually James Corden went back and said on the show, on his late show, I this video of me in the car being towed has gotten more views on the internet than my video of us singing in the car with the celebrity. And it was just crazy, but it was a negative where it led off with my, I've been lied to. This is, I feel deceived. This is, I never knew this. Like those type of things that were a negative behind it. Beyond that, I'd say other things that we see that work very well in TikTok videos are keeping it short. The attention span is very short. You want to make sure that you keep the time frame of the video down. It's interesting though that some of the videos that are longer a lot of times will convert higher than the short videos that just try to gloss over, hey, here's something and go check it out. When you talk more about it, a lot of times there will be a higher likelihood of a conversion happening based on a person walking through the objections and hearing someone talk about this is why you need to use this product and why it's been valuable to me. So that, while we do generally try to keep them short, there are times that we've seen longer videos perform very, very well. And by longer, I mean maybe like 60 seconds. You're not looking at uploading like a 12-minute video as an ad. But I think, generally we try to keep, a lot of TikTok ads in the 6 second to maybe 10, maybe 15 seconds max range. I think it's important to understand your audience and who you're targeting. You want to make sure that, you're using words or wearing clothing or having things that are relevant to that audience. We've run TikTok ads for, young and teenagers. We've run TikTok ads for the elderly, right? And so there's totally different, processes for both. If you're looking to reach older people on TikTok, we've had huge success, but we definitely do it in a way that it's very focused. The talent is generally older, and they're talking in a way that would be relevant to other people their same age. That doesn't seem out of the place. I wouldn't get a teenager to do an ad and be like, hey, watch me do this, a dance while we're talking about, I don't know, a walk-in bathtub or, installing solar panels on your house or something like that, right? Like it doesn't make a lot of sense, but definitely make sure that you understand your audience, you're relevant to your audience, and you have someone speaking to your audience that your audience would find valuable or listen to. I think that's really important. I think understanding a lot of the TikTok native ad formats. Another mistake I see a lot of times, people upload videos that, TikTok has the guidelines where there's the icons on the right-hand side as well as at the bottom when you're running an ad. So you want to make sure that, anything you put in the video that would be maybe text overlays are not covered by that area. You want to make sure that you get a TikTok grid that can show you where the safe space is within a video. To be able to place it. I know it's funny. I've had so many conversations with our video team where when we're making videos, a lot of times it's going on YouTube Shorts and Instagram and TikTok, and I'll be like, hey, it's covered here, and they're like, all three of them are different. Like it's hard. Like we do it here, and then a button covers it at the bottom, and we do it here, but the sidebars cover it, and so. You definitely want to make sure that you're watching your creative and making sure key messages or the information that is being presented appears in the safe zones of all three of the platforms so that you can use the content in other places. It is interesting that a lot of times our best performing content on TikTok, we will transfer over to Instagram to run or to YouTube Shorts, and it usually performs very well. The content and the type of structure that is working well on TikTok does work very well in other places. You definitely want to make sure, the highest performing TikTok ads, you want to make sure you have the pixel installed and that it's accurately tracking the right events that you want to. You want to make sure you're tracking for conversions. When the ad platforms start, they're going to start showing your ad to a lot of different people based on a lot of different metrics. And ultimately what they're looking for is who is clicking and who's adding a cart and who's purchasing, and they attribute a value to users based on how far they get. And then not only when they purchase, but how much do they purchase. So someone that purchases $1,000 of your product versus someone that purchases $10 of your product does not have the same value in the back of the ad system. So it is important to be able to always make sure that your pixels are in place and they're there. Having a call to action is important. You want to make sure that you've got a call to action at the end of your video, or give them a reason to do something or talk about where they should go. It is important, I think, to have, you could do the coolest dance in the world and the video just ends, people will leave. You need to say, hey, we want you to do this thing, or here's what you get if you take the next step. Have some sort of value in that video and go to them. Other kind of last little bullet points I'll throw out there. It is fun to have, things that are colorful a lot of times do a lot better than things that are kind of dull. We have a lot of people that will submit UGC videos and it'll be like in a dark bedroom. And while I'm like, that may be where you live and that's fine. You want people to be able to see the face of the person who's there. And you generally want them to be well lit. So make sure to buy ring lights or use a ring light. Have them use a ring light or something that would light up their face while they're doing their video. I think emotions work great. A lot of emotions, happiness or shock or surprise or, energetic or sad or, emotional. Like when people are emotional, people are drawn to that where they're like, oh, what's going on? Is it someone I can help? Is it someone I want to be entertained by? What is happening within that video that's going to be, they're just intrigued by it and they want to know what's happening. Some of the biggest TikTok stars out there, if you go back and look at all their videos, a lot of times when they go through difficult moments like a breakup or a lost job or things like that, they're on there crying as they talk about it, and they're opening themselves up, saying, hey, I'm having a bad time, and other people can relate with that and get much more involved, much more. They it's real. It doesn't feel fake. So they feel like they're watching real life as opposed to, an edited life where everything's perfect and sunshine and rainbows. So that would be it. And then the last thing I would say is making sure some of the ads that we see are the highest performing do have great content. We have a lot of comments. People are talking. Some of the videos, we ran one for a childcare company that helps mothers find childcare. And they did a stitch on another video, and we had so many comments where they were like, look, someone was talking about this and then they did their take on it. And we had so many comments underneath it in regard to mom's time. I didn't know this was an option. How does it work? Are there any? How would you find this? Where do I find the settings for these type of ones? And it had to do with like 24-hour childcare. So some moms work night jobs and they have to go, and the mom showed her dropping off her daughter at 8 p.m. at night, where the daughter would then sleep there and she would come back and pick her up in the morning. And it freaked a lot of moms out. We're like, oh my gosh, you're leaving your baby alone at night. And she's like, no, my job is it's a night shift. I'm with her during the day, but that's what my job is. So I've got to find childcare for her during those times. But a lot of people had never seen it. And so I think showing things that are unique, showing things that are interesting. We have a client we work with that does, they sell gold and silver. And so we say, let's show what are the biggest bars you can get your hands on, and let's show you holding it and turn it over and flip it around. And a lot of people have never seen, a giant gold bar worth, $1 million or $500,000. So when they do that, you definitely get people's attention, and you have a way to show them something that they haven't seen. So those are some of the things that I would say we've seen work very, very well with TikTok. Again, it's a great platform. Lots of changes happening all the time. Use music. If you're doing social, it's totally different than ads. For advertising, I'm generally looking for performance. What's going to drive a lead or an app install or get a sale. That's what we're looking for on the social side of just getting content out there. You always want to be using trending music, things like that. Be part of the trends when you can be, and just have content that people think is cool and they like and is interesting. And you're talking about topics that the people who are listening to those type of things would want to care about. But yeah, I think that's it. Those are some of my thoughts for what are the things you can be doing to improve your TikTok ads, or what are the high performing TikTok ads doing. If you have any more ideas that you've heard about or done or utilized within TikTok ads, I'd love to hear more. I'll leave your comments below, and I'd love to chime in and see what you guys have and have a little conversation there. But thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.